I love the fact that the Mercato del Porcellino is still a thriving place of trade today, although nowadays, of course, the main objects for sale are tourist knickknacks. But never mind, it's a place that gives you a wonderfully vivid and immediate sense of how business used to be done in Florence, i.e. in the open air. And there was no bigger business than that of the Medici family, the family that really put Florence on the map as one of the great mercantile centres of the early Western world. Founded by Giovanni de' Medici, who was himself a banker, they traded outdoors, sitting at tables in a place just like this, or pretty much exactly like this, calling out their best offers. I will lend you 100 florins as long as you pay me back at St. John's Day, and my interest rate will be X. I will lend you 1,000 florins as long as you pay me back by Christmas, and so on. Giovanni de' Medici founded the Medici family. We know them by their famous symbol. You'll see it everywhere you go in Florence. This little shield with balls on it. People often say, oh, they're medicine pills because the Medici, well, they were involved in medicine. Or others, perhaps more learned, will say, oh, no, they symbolize the dents on the shield of a great Medici hero who fought in a battle. All of that is nonsense. What those little balls symbolize is money, bezants, florins, coins. That was how the Medici made their fortunes, and that was how Florence became the great city it is today. But what's often forgotten is just how risky a business it was to lend money back in those days. Cosimo de' Medici, Giovanni's son, who really set the dynasty on its upward, inevitably arcing ascent to astonishing fortune, he had very firm rules for lending money. Number one rule, never lend to a king. Never lend to a prince. Never lend to an aristocrat, because people of noble blood think they're better than you and they renege on their debts. Rule number two, he said to his agents, when you go out and you meet men of business to whom you may lend money, say nothing. Say nothing at all, only listen, because anything you say will only give them information about us. We can only lose by that. Information is power. It was such a risky business that only those who followed the Medici's rules prospered. Hence, the interesting word, which we now have in English, bankrupt. Where does it come from? Well, think again to the place in which you're standing, this market. You have to imagine all the moneylenders with their tables set out, with their money on their tables, lending it out. Well, when they went bust, the rule was that they ceremonially had to break their table and declare themselves gone, declare themselves history. Broken table. In Italian, bancarotto. In English, bankrupt.